Hi, Sarah Ansboury here, and I just have to go over, we think it's simple, but it's not. What is the position your body should be in? Now, what I always hear is I need to be in this athletic stance, okay? So then I see this downward squatting motion, and honestly, I feel like someone's going to tackle me from this position. This is not an agile position. I cannot stress this enough, okay? If I'm squatting down athletically, okay, the problem with this is when you squat, the weight goes in your heels, okay? So then my body is compressed. So if my weight's in my heels, but then I need to kind of keep it forward. So then we do weird things to kind of create forward motion. Okay. Often I think of a basketball player. So a lot of times people think of defense when they're playing basketball, kind of getting low down here. Now think if your team has the ball. Okay? If I'm playing basketball and I'm looking for a pass, okay, my hands are up and I'm moving into my shot. I'm not down here. Okay? I want to be in a position that allows me to turn and accelerate. That is the key. Okay? Don't even get me started on how much this physically hurts your body when you're moving and jumping around the court. It's a lot of compression on those joints, okay? So at the base of it, I want to be ready to move. So if I'm in my basic kind of ready position, okay, I'm literally looking over the paddle at my ball. This really helps keeping your paddle up and engaged in the point. We disengage that paddle and we start looking with our heads, okay? My paddle is what's actually watching the ball. Okay, so I'm guiding with that ball. Now here, both hands are on my paddle. Guess what? Keeps my shoulders even, keeps my elbows extended. I get that this is comfortable. Okay, the problem with this is then we get those little T-Rex arms and we make contact behind us. So by having it out in front, this is really good. Now what I'm thinking is I want my weight, instead of 50-50 like a squat, think of 60-40, maybe 70-30. So let's say the ball is over here. I'm going to kind of press into my left side. Okay, so my knees are loose, okay? I don't need to be getting as low as I possibly can, okay? If I want to be able to cut off a ball, this weight shift really helps me extend and rotate my shoulders. If I'm down low, the tendency is now we react low, okay? So it's very hard to cut off a ball. Then we end up doing these weird kind of butt shots thing where we're bending over and we just can't reach anything, okay? I want to be able to be loose and ready to move, okay? So if my weight is on this leg and I need to move this direction, now I push off this leg and I turn. Okay? If I go this way, I push off and turn. That turn of the toes turns your hips and turns your shoulders and engages your weight. When players are too compressed in this athletic stance, then they turn into this crab walk situation. So the problem with that, your toes don't turn, which means your hips don't turn and your shoulders don't turn. The kinetic chain is key to our preparation always on the court. When you transfer your weight, you're actually going to lift up. So what I always want to think about, here's my bullseye. I am protecting that bullseye, but I also need that bullseye forward. If my bullseye is down, my paddle's down here, my hips are bent over. Once those hips bend, again, we're not connecting our lower body and our upper body. So think of having the hips underneath you, okay? This posture is really important to this. So I can get low as long as my posture is high and I am ready to accelerate, push off, and move. Okay? That 50-50 tends to cause us way too many steps. It also causes us to go backwards. Okay? I want my weight on the balls of my feet, light and loose. Almost think if you're standing in line at Starbucks and you naturally shift your weight to one side. It's a common thing we do to stay loose, okay, but also ready to go. It's more comfortable on your body. So think of that same concept when you're on the court. It's easier to stay in that position, but it also gives you a point where you can accelerate and push off from.
I know finding good pickleball instruction locally isn't always easy. That's why we created the online version of my Pickleball Academy. As a member, you have access to a collection of courses, lessons, drills, workouts, tips, and more. It's like having access to me anytime you want. And the best part, for a limited time, you get to try it for free. Just go to sarahansbury.com/free to try it out. I can't wait to see you on the inside